The main dining room can be a dream or a disaster. Get these 13 secrets right, and you'll never settle for just okay again. To me, the main dining room could be one of the best parts of any cruise. But many passengers leave feeling like something was missing. The truth is, small changes in how you order, interact with the staff, and time your meals can transform that experience. I'm revealing 13 powerful secrets that ensure every meal is a highlight of your trip. But know that I've saved the best for last. A dining room trick that makes all the difference between an average meal and an unforgettable experience. With the right combination of smart tips and a little kindness, the main dining room can become the highlight of your cruise, not just another version of the buffet. A well-timed order, a friendly chat with the server, knowing a few inside secrets can turn that ordinary meal into something that you'll look forward to every night. For those of you that don't know me, I like the main dining room experience. Part of it is, I don't want to say I'm cheap, but I already paid for it. I don't necessarily feel like spending an extra $40, $50, $80, $100 per person every night. Every once in a while, as a special treat, yeah, we'll do the specialty dining. But over time and trial and error, I found some things that make that dining experience in the main dining room special. Time. Choose that dining time wisely. Usually in the main dining room on most cruise lines, there's an early seating and a late seating. That's going to impact the vibe and the service quality, honestly. Early seating is usually sometime between 5 and 6 p.m. It's a set time, not, get there between 5 and 6. Now, say it's 5:30, be there by 5:30. Okay. Then the late dining is usually between 7 and 8, 7:30, 7 o'clock, whatever time. Make sure you're there on time. If you can get there a few minutes early. Oh, hello, Elio. You decided to join me because we're talking about food. The early seating, usually quicker service, and it gives you more time to do the evening shows. That's why we like it, because A, I'm not used to eating at 8 o'clock at night at home, so my stomach doesn't like it. But also, if we're going to, sit down at, say, 5:30, it's give or take 90 minutes. That way we're out of there by 7. The evening shows, a lot of times they start at 8, so we leave at 7. That'll give us time to go hear some live music for a little while and then get in line for the evening show. That late seating, it's more relaxed, less crowded atmosphere. Usually it's a little bit slower. It's not that it's slower, it's everything is slowed down. So you're there for, conversation, you're relaxing, you're not in a rush to get to a show, you're not in a rush to get there at to leave at a particular time. Most cruise lines nowadays have a flexible dining option. It does give you more control. So, if you want to eat at 6:30 instead of 5:30 or whatever, 6:15, 7, whatever, you can control that. The downside is a lot of times that means longer waits because you're not the only one doing that. You're not the only one trying to get in at 6:15 or whatever. Okay. Next, build a relationship with your server. Okay. Introduce yourself on the first night. Learn their name. As we all know, most of the employees of cruise lines are not from the USA or Canada, or from a lot of times from a primarily English-speaking country. So their names are usually not going to be John and Jill and Sue and Kathy. They're going to be different. Learn their name. Learn how to pronounce it. That just shows some respect. It shows that you are a human being. Okay. If you can get along with that server beyond yes, no, thank you, it changes your dining experience, okay? If you want, you can request a specific server. Like say you were on, I don't know, Carnival Celebration a couple of months ago, and you had an amazing server. Well, if you think they're still on board on embarkation day, go to the main dining room. Say, hey, I was on board 3 months ago and we had this server. We loved him. Can we be seated in his section? If that person is still on board and they are still serving in the dining room, the maitre d' will do everything they can to get you seated with them. Those friendly interactions, learning their name, saying please, saying thank you, being kind, they really do lead to better service and more friendly atmosphere, and sometimes even some extra perks. There are rumored to be off-menu items that if you build a rapport with your server, they might be able to offer them to you. If you build this rapport with them and say the second, the third, the fourth night of the cruise, you come in and say, hey, we've got a show we want to be at 7 o'clock. Can you rush things a little bit? Can you make sure we're out of here by like 6:45? Something like that. If you treat them like a person and you're respectful to them, they'll do everything they can. Now, honestly, if you're nasty to them, they're going to try and do everything they can as well because that's their job. But that kindness goes a long way. Here's one of my favorite tips that I actually learned from a good friend of mine. Talk to your server, find out where they're from. A lot of times it'll say it right on their name tag, but talk to them a little bit about their country. Get friendly with them. And if that country has a type of cuisine that you might like to try, say this to them. I would love to learn more about your country and its cuisine. Is it possible to ask the chef to make me a meal that you love, that when you're feeling homesick for your country, what food do you want to eat? Can you ask the chef if he could prepare that for me for tomorrow night? And then you can tell me what it is and why it's such a great memory. 50-50 chance whether it's going to happen. I've had some amazing Indian and Filipino food by asking this. I've also had some servers who said that, they're not allowed to do that anymore. So it's a 50-50. Okay. Next, don't be afraid to ask for extras and or custom orders. So not everybody, even some seasoned cruisers don't know this. You can order multiple appetizers, multiple entrees, and multiple desserts. There are some caveats to that. Okay. Used to be, it was truly unlimited. You could ask for every appetizer on the menu. They're not wasting that food anymore. They're not doing that anymore. Now, pretty much every cruise I've been on post-COVID, they'll allow you to order two. So 2 apps, 2 entrees, 2 desserts. Now, if the entree is at an upcharge, so instead of getting the strip steak, which is included, you want to get the filet, they'll let you order 4 fillets because you're paying for each of them. Also, lobster night, if the cruise ship you're going on is still doing lobster night, talk with your server to find out what you're allowed to order for lobster night. Because some cruises, they'll let you have 10 of them if you want, but you're only getting 1 for free. The other 9 you're paying for. Some of them allow you to do 2. Talk to them, find out. Ask for modifications. Say you order the New York strip and it comes with, I doubt it would, but the only sauce I can think of is Béarnaise sauce. And you don't like Béarnaise sauce. You know what? Say, hey, do me a favor. Let's do no sauce, or put the sauce on the side, or no salt, or things like that. Don't be afraid to ask for those little things that will make the food that much more enjoyable to you. If you don't like what you're eating, if you get pasta primavera and you don't like the sauce or it's too spicy or whatever, call your waiter over and say, hey, can I get something else? I don't really enjoy the taste of this. Okay. When my kids were little, we took them on a cruise on a Royal Caribbean ship, and my younger son ordered chicken piccata, and that's the one with the lemon sauce. He hated it, did not like it at all. And basically just sat there and sulked and decided he just was going to have to go hungry. Our waiter, he was phenomenal. He came over and he saw that my son was not eating and didn't say anything, didn't touch the plate, went away, came back 4 or 5 minutes later with a plate of chicken tenders and French fries, which, by the way, were not on the menu. But this was our 3rd night. He knew that, my son had eaten it the night before when it was on the menu and didn't say anything, just grabbed my son's chicken piccata, put down the chicken nuggets or tenders, whatever they were. You should have seen the smile on my son's face when he saw that. He was forever in this waiter's debt. So don't be afraid to ask for a replacement if you find you don't like what you asked for. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Dietary preferences, allergies, let them know. Put it in your profile before you get on the ship when you're filling out your, either purchasing the when you're doing the booking or when you're doing check-in. When you get on board the ship, if you have a chance to on embarkation day, stop at the maitre d', tell them about your preference, your allergies. When you get to your dining table at the first night and the second night, tell your waiter, tell the assistant waiter, tell their boss, make sure everybody knows that about preferences, allergies. You don't have to be a nasty person about it, but tell them multiple times. We went on a cruise last year with good friends of ours, and she has a nut allergy. And all 4 of us made sure that everybody around knew, in a polite way, but made sure that everybody knew that she was allergic to, I think it was tree nuts on the first night. The second night, our waiter's boss came over with the next night's menu, showed it to our friend, and said, okay, I know for a fact that these 4 things have nuts in it. So what do you think you would want to order excluding those 4? And he said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that we make yours on in a different area so that there are no nuts anywhere near your food. And he did that every night for the rest of the cruise. These cruise lines want to make you happy. All you got to do is let them know. Theme nights. Pay attention to theme nights, because formal nights, that's typically when you're going to get your higher quality menu options, lobster, filet, things like that. Specialty theme nights. Sometimes they'll do a French night or an Italian night. Now, on those nights, they're going to match the cuisine to the theme. So if it's a French Riviera night, guess what? You're going to be eating French food. If it's a Caribbean night, you're going to be eating jerk chicken. You're going to be eating Caribbean flavors. Know that ahead of time. Most cruise lines, you can see the menu ahead of time for the main dining room, on the app, or if you go to the main dining room, it'll be, hanging out outside. Just know, like, if you don't like jerk spice, if you don't like Caribbean style food, well, maybe you don't go to the main dining room that night. Or if you know it ahead of time, you can think about something that you would want to ask for instead. Now, if you're willing, participating in those theme nights can enhance that dining experience. It can make you feel part of it, because the waiters and waitresses, they're going to be dressed up. The dining room itself is going to be decorated in whatever the theme is. So you can be part of it if you want. Take advantage of the wine and the beverage service if you drink alcohol. If you brought your own bottle of wine on board, bring it to dinner with you if you want. They will be a small corkage fee. If you do like to drink wine, but you don't want to bring yours, or you didn't bring one on board, order a bottle. If you don't finish it that night, they'll save it for you for the next night. Not a big deal. Ask the sommelier for pairings. If you're a wine person, oenophile? I think it's oenophile. You know what I'm talking about. Wine changes the taste of food, and the food changes the taste of wine. So, the sommelier is going to know, okay, you ordered the filet, well, let's have this with it. Or you ordered the pasta or the fish, we're going to do this instead. Okay. Beverage package, if you don't know, beverage packages will cover the cost of certain wines at no extra cost. Order off menu when possible. If you Google secret menu Norwegian Joy, you're going to find a whole list of things that people have said that they were able to order on the Norwegian Joy, and it's not on the menu. If you want to, be adventurous, ask your server. A lot of times, if they have options, they will tell you about it. You feel like having an omelet for dinner? Okay. Ask them if you can have breakfast for dinner. If they can, they'll do it. Their job is to make you happy. So if they can do it, they will. There are certain dishes that you can get pretty much every night if you want. So shrimp cocktail, a lot of times French onion soup. There are certain menu items that, all you got to do is ask for it. If it's not on the menu, a lot of times they have it and they're going to get it for you anyway. Okay. There are off-menu desserts as well. You can get a cheese plate, fruit plate. There are certain cakes and pies that they pretty much have available 24/7, 365. So don't be afraid to ask for something that you don't necessarily see. The worst they can say is no, and then you gotta, find something else. Splitting or sharing dishes. So you're there with your spouse, your significant other, and you want to try 2 different entrees, but you don't want to waste the food. So you got a couple options. One, your spouse, if he or she is open to it, your spouse orders one, you order the other, you each eat half and then swap. Another option is to ask the server for a half portion of each. A lot of times they'll be able to split a dish. It's not that big of a deal for them. Okay. Just ask them if there are certain sides or appetizers that you want. Ask for, hey, can I get, shrimp cocktail with my appetizer and then another one with my entree? Sure. Why not? One thing that I always tell younger clients, or travel clients who have younger children, to tell their children, if you want, when you go on a cruise and you're eating at the main dining room, years ago, I took my mom, my 2 sons, and my son's girlfriends on a cruise, and the girlfriends ordered pasta every single night because that's all they were comfortable with. I told them, said, you know what? No, you're not allowed to get pasta tonight. Order something else. Try something that you've always wanted to try, but you never were able to because you didn't want to pay for it just in case you didn't like it. Guess what? You're on a cruise. It doesn't cost extra. And they're like, ooh, okay. And from that night forward, they always tried something. Now, they didn't always like it. And what happened if they didn't like it? Waiter would come over. We don't like it. Okay, no problem. And he would bring them their favorite pasta dish. There was no risk because they weren't wasting money. They weren't throwing money away. They got to try things. They expanded their palate. They figured out that they really liked this or that or the other thing. I tell my kids are grown now, but I tell people who are bringing children on a cruise, tell their kids that. Let them know, hey, yes, you can get a hot dog. You can get a chicken tenders. But you know what? Try this first. Maybe you'll like that. And if not, the hot dog's always waiting for you. No harm, no foul. Right, Gilio? Next, take advantage of the multi-course format. We don't always think of it this way, but when you go to the dining room, the main dining room, you're eating a three or four course meal. You got your appetizer, you got a super salad, you got the main course, and the dessert. Pace yourself. It's not a race. Take your time, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the food, enjoy the conversation, and think of it like a formal multi-course dinner. Okay? You eat something, take a break for a minute or two or a couple of minutes, have a drink, chat for a little bit, and then the next course will come. Okay. The main dining room is not just a meal. It is meant to be an experience. It is meant to be enjoyed, not just putting on a feed bag. Okay. Talk to your servers about the timing of the dishes. If you want things to go a little bit slower, if you want to savor and relax and enjoy, tell them, say, hey, we're not in a big hurry. Give us a couple of minutes between each course. They'll be happy to. They're there till 11 o'clock at night anyway. They don't really care. Don't skip dessert. Even if you just have a bite of something or 2 bites of something, it is part of the meal. Get that value and try something new. You never know what you're gonna enjoy. Dress the part for a better experience. I like to dress up. I feel differently. I feel not more important, but I feel a little more special when I'm not in jeans and a t-shirt. Partake of the entire experience. Make it an experience, not just a meal. Okay. If you want just a meal, go to the buffet, go to Guy's Burger Joint. If you want an experience, be part of that experience. And servers tend to treat you a little bit different when you are dressed a little bit different. And honestly, dressing up, dressing appropriate, it can lead to special events. It can lead to invitations to special tastings, and most cruise lines have private experiences that they'll offer to a couple of people, maybe a half a dozen people per cruise. And if they look for people who would enjoy it, who would appreciate it, and the guy showing up in, tank tops and flip-flops to formal night is not the type of person that they're looking for, not the person that they think would truly enjoy the experience. Let's just put it that way. Again, communicate your dietary needs early and often. Inform the maitre d' of your allergies, your dietary restrictions, vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, nut allergies, anything like that. Anything that restricts what you can eat, especially if it's, I don't want to say important, but, life-threatening, or tell them. Tell your maitre d', tell your waiter, tell your assistant waiter, tell the sommelier, who, not that he or she can do anything about it, but tell everybody, let them know. The kitchen can adapt dishes if you give them a heads up. They can, cook in different areas if there are allergies involved. They have been trained how to make sure that they don't kill people, okay, or upset them by serving a vegetarian something the vegetarians don't eat, okay? You just got to let them know. You got to tell them the first day, tell them the second day, and I will bet you money by the third day, they know, they remember, and they are making sure before you even get there to take care of it. This one's going to be a little controversial, but I firmly believe in it. Tip beyond the automatic gratuity for exceptional service. Yes, gratuities are included, but that gratuity is split amongst, depending upon which cruise line and what they're putting out there. Today, some cruise lines, that gratuity goes to the room attendant, the wait staff, and the bartenders. And that's it. Some goes to everybody on the ship. Some goes to a subset. Honestly, what I like to do, first night, when we get to the dining room, we sit down, we get to chatting with our waiter and our assistant waiter. I'm going to give them a $20 bill. If they are, I don't want to say decent people, if they are eager and smiling and laughing and they're friendly and we're having a good conversation, I'm going to throw them each a $20. Actually, no, I'll throw the head waiter a $20. I'll throw the assistant waiter a $10 bill. And I'll just say, listen, guys or gals, I want to take care of you now because I know how hard you guys work and I truly appreciate it. And I don't mention anything about it for the rest of the week. Now, at the end of the week, I will give them a further tip if they continue to earn it. Let's put it that way. Why? Why do I do that? Well, it has to do what the word tips actually stands for and where it came from, what it really means. TIPS, to ensure proper service. When it was originally created, you gave that to your server at the beginning of your interaction with that server to ensure good service. I don't know when or how that changed now. It's customary in the U.S. and wherever else that you give it at the end of the meal. I don't like doing that. I want to give it at the beginning of the trip so that they know that I appreciate them and that And I don't expect this, but usually we get better service throughout the week because of that. Now, like I said, I'm giving a tip to the head waiter. I'm giving a smaller tip to the assistant waiter. If there is a designated sommelier or beverage person, I'm giving them a small tip as well. Again, depending upon their service. If somebody is not friendly and smiling and interacting with me, yeah, they're not getting nothing. Now, I saved the best for last. Request a special dining room experience. Ask the maitre d'. Now, I would not do this embarkation day. I would wait a day or two. But ask the maitre d' about any special chef's tables or off-menu tastings. Some chefs offer like premium cuts of meat or special wines at a small upcharge, but you have to ask for it. Request a window seat. Request a quieter area of the dining room. Request premium seating for the floor show if your cruise ship still does a floor show. Let the servers know if you're celebrating a special event. 50th birthday, wedding anniversary, honeymoon, let them know. Don't, I'm going to be 50 this trip. No, just, hey, yeah, by the way, we're on this trip because I'm turning 50 and I want to celebrate with my family or my wife and my 35th wedding anniversary. They will do what they can, what they're allowed to do, and make it special for you. So now that you know a bunch of different ways on how to master that main dining room experience, you're going to want to hear my brutally honest review of my recent cruise on Norwegian to Joy. Because if you don't, you might book the wrong cruise for your dining style or your cruising style. And I'm going to tell you all about it in this video here.